Hello everyone, I'm back with my next video on sample paper for class 11. This is in the MCQ pattern, which is the latest pattern. This sample paper is based on term 1 syllabus. Let us quickly read the instructions. This is for class 11. This is English core syllabus. Sample paper 1, maximum marks 40. Time allowed is 1.5 hours, that is 90 minutes. Let's read the instructions. The question paper contains 3 sections. Section A, reading, has 18 questions. Attempt a total of 14 questions. Section B, that is writing skills, has got 16 questions. You have to attempt a total of 12. Section C is literature with 28 questions. You have to attempt 26. This is an internal exam. Schools may have their own instructions. It is quite possible the maximum marks may change. It may be of 50 marks and maybe there are no choices. All the questions may be compulsory. So it depends on school to school. Let us start with the reading section. Question number 1 to 10 are based on the given text. Let us quickly read the text carefully and then answer the questions. Many of us return home after our holidays to brush the sand out of our luggage, water wilted pot plants, and later sort through treasured holiday memories forever. Months after latest break and those happy snaps, you ask the questions. Where on an email to the relatives? Downloaded on a computer, most of them when they discovered the hard disk was getting too filled with heavy files? If your household is like mine, the memories of our 2005 summer holiday may well disappear into the void that lies between the material past. You see, our paper photo album ends halfway through 2004. Since then, the arrival of digital camera and the mobile camera phone has meant our photos are stored on the computers, on phones, on camera itself in an online mode. None of the photos has made it onto paper into the album, and they probably never will. In fact, techno-challenged people like me fear these new pixel images will never become permanent, and that pictures on screen in albums whose pages are turned like the books of our lives. The processing industry once hoped the snap lead to more images being transferred to paper because some households are yet to adjust to the latest forms of photographic display and storage. The most fundamental way photography has changed is that digital photos are virtually free. A happy snapper can take hundreds of photos of an event rather than ration the occasion to a dozen composed shots. Digital snappers can become like the National Geographic photographers who take about 12,600 shots per assignment, knowing only 10 will be used. The photographer, however amateur, also becomes the editor. Once the images are transferred to a computer, they can be tampered with. Don't like the person in the shot? Get rid of him. Want to make London look sunny? Click on the blue sky. A double chin? Deft shading will fix that. The photo, once a candid image and a priceless memory, becomes something that's cheaply taken, easily discarded, and endlessly manipulated. It's easy to see why the photo processing industry is having trouble coming to terms with the new. Century of Snappers, an industry whose slogan was the preservation of priceless family memories, has found itself in a virtually disposable world. For more than a century, memories of who we were and where we have come from have been refreshed by regularly turning the pages of our photographic chronology. Future generations will have a different grab of their history. A series of mouse clicks will take through a kaleidoscope of images of life caught on the run. So this was the passage. Let's quickly start with the questions. Question 1. Why in the present times none of the photos makes it to the paper or album? The options are: they are stored in electronic devices, B, they have lost their originality, C, they are too many to print, D, they are too much edited. The correct option is A, they are stored in electronic devices. Question 2. What opinion does the writer have of the new pixel images? Option A, they will never be permanent memories. B, they are the future. C, they can never be seen as a book of memories. D, they have replaced albums. Option A, they will never be permanent memories. Question 3. What did processing industry hope after digital camera became popular? Option A, this would boost their business. B, more snaps would find a place in album. C, it will be easy to capture a lot of memories. D, this is the future of photographic memories. The options are only B option is all of these, C option is only B, C, D option is only A and B, and this is the correct option. Let us quickly read A and B. This would boost their business. B part, more snaps would find place in albums. Question 4. Why is it said that digital photos are virtually free? Option A, no need to worry about bad clicks. Option B, one may click hundreds of photos and store them digitally. C, not have to worry about the roll count. D, can take lots of photos even though a few are to be picked. Question B is the correct answer. Option B is the correct answer. Question 5. Why does the writer feel that in the present times, photographs have lost their genuineness? A. Photos nowadays can be easily manipulated. B. Photo albums have been taken over by pixel images. C. Every amateur photographer has become an editor. D. The meaning of candid shots has changed. Option A, photos nowadays can be easily manipulated is the correct answer. Question 6. The new age photos have lost their value because option A, they no longer preserve priceless memories. B, they try to replace photo albums. C, they can be captured in large numbers. D, they are virtually disposable. The correct answer is D, they are virtually disposable. Question 7. The processing industry is still not happy because A, their business are not growing. B, they find people no longer interested in getting albums made. C, their business slogans has to be changed. D, they find it difficult to adjust. The correct answer is they find it difficult to adjust. Question 8. The writer is not impressed with the new age photos because A part, they have replaced an era of photo albums. B part, they are cheaply taken and have lost originality. C part, pixel images put a heavy load on computer hard drives. D part, they are merely a kaleidoscope of past life. Option B is the correct answer. They are cheaply taken and have lost originality. Question 9. Find a word opposite in meaning to full in paragraph 2. A. Memories. B. Past. C. Void. D. Arrival. The correct antonym or opposite of full is void. So option C is the correct answer. Question 10. Find a word similar in meaning to beginner in paragraph 7. A. Tempered. B. Amateur. C. Deft shading. D. Editor. The correct answer is amateur. Question number 11 to 18 are based on the given text. This is the second unseen passage. Let's quickly read it. There are two problems which cause great worry to our educationists: the problem of religious and moral instruction in a land of many faiths and the problem arising out of a large variety of languages. Taking up the education of children, we see that they should be trained to love one another, to be tender to lower animals, and to observe and think right. The task of teaching them how to read and write and to count and calculate is important, but it should not make us lose sight of the primary aim of molding personality in the right way. For this, it is necessary to call into aid culture, tradition, and religion. But in our country, we have in the same school to look after boys and girls born in different faiths and belonging to families that live diverse ways of life and follow different forms of worship associated with different denominations of religion. It will not do to, to tread the easy path of evading the difficulty of attending solely to physical culture and intellectual education. We have to evolve a suitable technique and method of serving the spiritual needs of school children professing different faiths. We would thereby promote an atmosphere of mutual respect, a fuller understanding, and helpful cooperation among the different communities in our society. Again, we must remain one people, and we have therefore to give basic training in our schools to speak and understand more languages than one and to appreciate and respect the different religions prevailing in India. It is not right for us in India to be dissuaded from this by considerations as to overtaking the young mind. What is necessary must be done, and it is not in fact too great a burden. Any attempt to do away with or steamroll the differences through governmental coercion and indirect pressure would be as futile as it would be unwise. Any imposition of a single way of life and form of worship on all children or neglect of a section of pupils in this respect or barren secularization will lead to conflict between school and home life, which is harmful. On the other hand, if we give due recognition to the different prevailing faiths in the educational institutions by organizing suitable facilities for religious teaching for boys and girls of all communities, this may itself serve as broadening influence of great national values. This was the second unseen passage. Let us quickly do the questions. Question 11. Find a word similar in meaning to useless in paragraph 3. A. Influence. B. Futile. C. Barren. D. Coercion. The correct answer is B. Futile. Question 12. Find a word opposite in the meaning to unsympathetic in paragraph 1. A. Tender. B. Instruction. C. Sight. D. Personality. The correct answer is A. Tender. Question 13. The problem educationists today have to face are teaching students coming from different regional backgrounds, teaching students speaking different languages together, teaching students about religion and moral values, teaching students in the land of different faiths. The correct option is teaching students about religion and moral values. Question 14. What are the necessary elements to be taken up while educating children? A. Be tender and sympathetic. B. Different languages. C. Course books on different religions. D. Solving arithmetic problems. The correct answer is to be tender and sympathetic. A option is the correct option. Question 15. How can a student's personality be molded in the right way? A. By teaching them about culture, tradition and religion. B. By teaching them to count and calculate. C. By teaching them to read and write. D. By teaching them to think and do right. The correct option is by teaching them about culture, tradition and religion. A option is the correct answer. Question 16. What problems do we face in schools today? A part, difficult to teach a diversity of students about a particular culture, religion. B part, teachers aren't competent enough. C part, people don't want to include these subjects in everyday teaching. D part, students aren't interested in learning. Option A is the correct option. Difficult to teach a diversity of students about a particular culture or religion. Question 17. How can the spiritual needs of children be met? A part, promote an atmosphere of understanding. B part, building cooperation among diversities. C part, evolving techniques and methods. D part, build up mutual trust and respect. Let us see the options. Option A, only A, B, D. Option B, only A and B. Option C, only C and D. Option D, all of these. The correct answer is A part, only A, B and D. Question 18. What changes need to be brought in schools? A part, make religious techniques compulsory, teachings compulsory. B part, every student must learn more than one language. C part, appreciate and respect different religions. D part, overtake the young minds. Let us see the options. A, only A and D. B, only A and B. C, only B and D. D, only B and C. The correct answer is D, that is only B and C. Let us now start writing section. First we have short writing. Question number 19 to 22 are based on given text. Read the text carefully and answer the questions. The president of the Cultural Forum of a school writes a notice about an inter-school orchestra competition on the Silver Jubilee celebrations of the school. Question 19. Would this notice reflect the name of the school? A part, no, because the title makes it clear. B part, yes, because it is the issuing body. C part, yes, because it makes it informal. D part, no, because it is understood through the signature. Option B is the correct option because in the beginning we need to write the name of the institution or the school, which is the issuing body. Question 20. Who will sign this notice at the end? A, all of these. B, the president of the cultural forum. C, the principal of the school. D, head boy, head girl of the school. Whoever writes the notice signs at the end, and here the question says the president of the cultural forum of the school writes a notice, so that means he will sign. Option B is the correct option. Question 21. Which is the best way to start the body of this notice? A part, being a regular reader of your newspaper. B part, through the column. C part, this is to inform. D part, this is to threaten. The correct answer is C. This is to inform. Question 22. Points that should be mentioned in the notice. A part, name of the sponsors. B part, participants limit. C part, last date of submission of entry forms. D part, date and time. E part, provision of lunch and dinner. F part, venue. Let us quickly read the options. Option A is C, D, E, F. Option B is A, B, C, F. Option C is C, D, E, F. Option D is B, C, D, F. Option D is correct, which will which says that the notice should have the participants limit, the last date of submission of entry forms, the date and time, and the venue. Let us now do the writing section, long writing. Question number 23 to 28 are based on given text. Read the text carefully and answer the questions. A formal letter is one written in a formal and ceremonious language and follows a certain stipulated format. Such letters are written for official purposes to authorities, dignitaries, colleagues, seniors, etc., and not to personal contacts, friends, or family. A number of conventions must be adhered to while drafting formal letters, with reference to the facts and rules of a formal letter. Now let us see the questions. Question 23. Which of the following is not a general transition term used in a letter? A. By contrast. B. None of these. C. However. D. Nevertheless. When we are writing a formal letter, we needn't contrast anything with any two things. So option A is incorrect. So option A is the answer. Question 24. The key point of a formal letter is writing in which part of the formal letter. The key point is written in which part of the formal letter? A. Postscript. B. Opening. C. Closing. D. Body. So the opening has the key point of the formal letter. Question 25. What would you say in the opening part of the formal letter having which kind of information? A. Inform the recipient why you are writing the letter. B part, ask how good the weather is in the recipient's city. C part, discussing how good the weather is in your city. D part, discussing the recipient if he is hale and hearty. In a formal letter, we need to inform why we have written the letter. So option A is correct. Question 26. How to end the main body of a formal letter? A part, by telling the recipient what he should be doing next. B part, by giving regards to the recipient. C part, none of these. D part, by discussing a general subject. Now whenever we write the body of a formal letter has 3 paragraphs. First is introduction. Second is contents in detail. Third is conclusion with suggestion. So according to that, the end of the main body of the formal letter should be A, where we should tell the recipient what he should be doing next. So that is, we are giving suggestions. Option A is correct. Question 27. Which of the following is the name given to the date and address at the top in the formal letter? A. Starting. B. Heading. C. Closing. D. Body. So the part that has got date and address, that is the head of the letter. So that is the heading. Then later we start the starting of the letter from introduction. Question 28. Which of these is a correct formal letter introduction? A. Mr. XYZ. B. Hello XYZ. C. Hello Mr. XYZ. D. Alright mate. The correct answer is A. Mr. XYZ. We can also add a respected or dear with that, depending on the person who we are writing to. Let us quickly do the grammar part. Question 29. Rearrange the following words to form meaningful sentence. To the popularity, every corner, junk food has led of eating joints around of the opening. The correct answer is A part. The popularity of junk food has led to the opening of eating joints around every corner. Question 30. Change the following complex sentence into simple sentence. They created such a fuss over a trivial matter. A part. By them, such a fuss has been created over a trivial matter. This is not a simple sentence. Such a fuss is being created over a trivial matter. C part. Such a fuss was created over a trivial matter. D part. Such a fuss has been created over a trivial matter. According to this, C part is the correct answer, which is a simple sentence. Question 31. Choose the correct determiner. Doubt was not dash new emotion, it was dash oldest memory, yet I had not expected it to come this way. I had become accustomed to its presence in dash being. Now when we try to put each and every option that is given at the bottom, we find that there are some mistakes in a few blanks. Option D is the correct answer, where we read, let us quickly read the paragraph by putting option D in the blanks. Doubt was not a new emotion, it was my oldest enemy. Yet I had not expected to come this way. I had become accustomed to its presence in my being. Question 32. Choose the correct determiner. I didn't believe him when he said that it was hailing in June. So I went out on the balcony to see it for myself. This is the correct answer. So answer C is the correct answer. Question 33. Choose the correct tense. We dash a house in the hills, but we are unable to decide the exact place. A. Have want. This is incorrect. Grammatically incorrect. B. Always wanted. C. Will wanted. Again grammatically correct. D. Always want. Grammatically correct. Option B is the best option. We always wanted a house in the hills, but we are unable to decide the exact place. Question 34. Choose the correct tense. I dash the medicine as prescribed by the doctor for a week now. A part, would have taken. B part, have had been taking. C part, takes. D part, have been taking. This is the correct answer. Let us quickly start literature now. Question number 35 to 39 are based on the given text. Read the text carefully and answer the questions. She hobbled about the house in spotless white, with one hand resting on her waist to balance her stoop, and the other telling the beads of her rosary. Her silver locks were scattered untidily over her pale, puckered face, and her lips constantly moved in inaudible prayer. Yes, she was beautiful. She was like the winter landscape in the mountains, an expanse of pure white serenity, breathing peace and contentment. Let us quickly read the questions. Question 35. Here the word hobbled means A. Ran, B. Relax, C. Slowly, D. Move. Here the correct answer is move. Question 36. Beads of rosary are helping her to remember prayers, to note down prayers, to attain peace, to say her prayers. The correct answer is D part, to say her prayers. Question 37. How did grandmother appear like winter landscape in the mountains? A part, because she had silver locks. B part, because she always wore white dress. C, all of these. D, because she had a divine beauty. all A, B and D are correct. So all of these is the correct answer. Option C is correct. Question 38. Who hobbled about the house in spotless white? Option A, author's mother. Option B, a ghost. Option C, author's grandmother. Option D, author. This is Khushwant Singh's story. In his autobiography, he talks about his grandmother. So the answer is C, author's grandmother. Question 39. What could be the possible antonym of the word pucker used in the above passage? Now, as we have read the chapter, this is your first chapter in the book. Pucker means full of wrinkles. Option A, folds. B part crinkle, C part flat and smooth, D part wrinkle. So option A, B and D are all synonyms of pucker, which in one way or the other talks about folds or wrinkles. Option C is the correct antonym. Antonym means opposite, flat and smooth. Question 40 to 44 are based on the given text. Read the text carefully and answer the questions. The cardboard shows me how it was when the two girl cousins went paddling, each one holding one of my mother's hands, and she the big girl, some 12 years or so. Question 40. What does the cardboard refer to here? Option A, a sketch. Option B, a diary entry. Option C, a photograph. Option D, a card. Here the correct answer is option C, a photograph. Question 41. If it here refers to, in the first line we can see it, the cardboard shows me how it was. It here refers to A, the relationship between mother, the poet and her mother. B, the poet's mother's childhood. C, beach holiday. D, the poet's childhood. Option B is the correct option, the poet's mother's childhood. Question 42. The rhyming scheme of the given line is option A, A, B, C, A. Option B, no rhyme. Option C, A, B, B, A. Option D, A, B, A, A, B. Here it is a free verse. There is no rhyme here. So option B is correct. Question 43. What does the cardboard show to the poetess? A, her mother's childhood picture. B, her mother's portrait. C, a sad memory of her mother. D, her childhood picture. The correct answer is A, her mother's childhood picture. Question 44. What does the word paddling refer to as used in the above stanza? Option A, walking through shallow water in bare feet. Option B, a brisk walk. Option C, walking along the pond. D part, walking through river with bare feet. So the correct answer is A part, walking through shallow water in bare feet. Question number 45 to 49 are based on the given text. Read the text carefully and answer the questions. I was home for a few days and it struck me immediately that something or the other about the rooms had changed. I missed various things. My mother was surprised I should have noticed so quickly. Then she told me about Mrs. Dorling. I had never heard of her, but apparently she was an old acquaintance of my mother whom she hadn't seen for years. She had suddenly turned up and renewed their contact. Since then, she had come regularly. Question 45. Which of the following aspects was noticed by the narrator? A, didn't witness anything different. B, her mother was surprised. C, rooms has changed with different items. D, various things were missing. So the answer is D, various things were missing. Question 46. The mother of the author was surprised because A, her daughter quickly noticed the changes in the room, in the house. B, her daughter has changed completely. C, her daughter was upset. D, her daughter did not inform about her visit. Option A is the correct answer. her daughter quickly noticed the changes in the house. Question 47. Which of the following is incorrect about Mrs. Darling? A. She was an old acquaintance of author's mother. B. She was a nice lady. C. She suddenly renewed contact. D. She was not seen by author's mother for many years. The sentence that is incorrect is option B. She was a nice lady. This is not mentioned and neither do her character tells anything about her being nice. Question 48. Since then she had come regularly. Who is referred to as she in the passage? A. Mrs. Darling. B. Mrs. Darling's daughter. C. Author's cousin. D. Author's mother. The answer is A. Mrs. Darling. Question 49. What does the word acquaintance used in the passage mean? A. A person that you know but who is not a close friend. B. A morose person. C. A person who looks pale. D. A person that you know and who is a close friend. Here option A is the correct answer. A person that you know, you are acquainted with, you are familiar with, but who is not close to you. Question number 50 to 54 are based on the given text. Read the text carefully and answer the questions. You sent for me? He asked as he came in and sat on a chair. Ratna stood at a distance, her head lowered. Ranga repeatedly glanced at her. Once our eyes met and he looked very embarrassed. No one spoke for a long while. It was my coming in that stopped the singing. Let me leave. Words, mere words. The fellow said he would leave, but he did not make a move. How can one expect words to match actions in these days of Kalyug? Question 50. Here the phrase sent for me means A. Called me, B. Ordered me, C. Requested me, D. Take me. Here sent for means called me. Question 51. Who among the following offered to leave the palace, leave the place? A. Author, B. Ranga, C. Ratna, D. Ramarao. Here the correct answer is option B. Ranga. 52. When Ranga reached the narrator's house, Ratna was A. Dancing, B. Cooking, C. Singing, D. Painting. She was singing. Question 53. Ranga was sent to which place for further studies? A. Kerala, B. Delhi, C. Mumbai, D. Bangalore. Answer D. Bangalore is the correct answer. Question 54. The narrator describes Ratna as a pretty girl, a depressed girl, a morose girl, a girl who belongs to village. The correct answer is a pretty girl. Question 55. How many operations did it take to relieve Sue from pain of a bumped head? We are not afraid to die chapter. A. 4 major operations. B. 5 operations. C. 6 minor operations. D. 7 minor operations. The answer is C. 6 minor operations. Question 56. Who was Amenhotep III in the chapter Discovering Tut? A. King Tut's son. B. King Tut's counselor. C. King Tut's father or grandfather. D. King Tut's maternal or paternal uncle. Answer C is the correct answer. King Tut's father or grandfather. Question 57. What does the European story about Quentin Mizzi illustrate? A. The illusion of magic art. B. The illusion of reality created by Chinese painting. C. The illusion of reality created by European painting. D. The illusion of reality created by Japanese painting. Here option C, illusion of reality created by European painting, is the correct answer. Question 58. Why did the goldfinch arrive on the laburnum tree precautiously? A. To avoid any damage to the leaves. B. To give a surprise to its chicks. C. The branches of laburnum tree were not strong. D. To avoid being noticed by any predator. The answer is D option, to avoid being noticed by any predator. Question 59. Why did the narrator wait for a long time before going to the address number 46 Marconi Street? A. She wasn't sure about the address. B. She was not interested. C. She was not able to recognize Mrs. Dorling. D. She was very excited. Option B is correct. She was not interested. Question 60. Who was Murad? A. Aram's father. B. Aram's brother. C. Aram's cousin. D. Aram's uncle. Here the correct answer is Aram's cousin, C option. I hope this sample paper was helpful to you. I'll be coming up with more. Do ask your queries. Do also comment in the comment section. Take good care of yourself. All the best for your papers.